confronting our nation. While progress has been made in articulation of nutrition policies and programs, the critical link that must translate these intentions into results is effective legislative oversight. Today, I aim to outline the strategic importance of oversight in achieving nutrition goals and offer practical pathways for legislative action at the subnational level. This is slide 1. The nutrition crisis. Permit me to refresh our memories by providing information that has been thrown at us from day one of this program, and that's the current state of nutrition in Nigeria. We have there approximately 33% of children under the age of 5, 37%, please, are stunted due to chronic malnutrition. And nearly 50% of 45-50% of these under 5 deaths are associated with malnutrition. Food insecurity affects 17 million Nigerians, predominantly in rural and subnational communities. This represents not just a health crisis, but a direct threat to our educational system, our productivity, and also our national development. Legislative assemblies across Nigeria needs to really rise up to this challenge. The fight against malnutrition is directly at our doorsteps at the subnational. And I really think it's important, speaking to my colleagues here, that we start a serious advocacy and serious work at the subnational level to tackle this menace. Not only by making laws, but also by ensuring the effective implementation of these laws. Next slide, please. Why oversight matters. The role of legislative oversight in nutrition. Oversight is one of the core constitutional responsibilities of the legislature, as enshrined in the Constitution, 1999 Constitution, sections 128, 129, 108, as amended. In the area of nutrition, oversight enables us to monitor and evaluate the performance of ministries, departments, and agencies tasked with implementing nutrition interventions. Oversight ensures that appropriate funds are efficiently utilized. It also promotes interagency coordination and collaboration, guarantees that nutrition-related programs are implemented equitably and sustainably. Oversight, when conducted with diligence, fosters transparency, accountability, and results-driven governance. Next slide, please. The challenges at the subnational level, despite the existence of national and state-level nutrition policies, several challenges continue to limit the effectiveness of legislative oversight at the subnational. One of them is weak institutional structures, including underperforming state committees on food and nutrition. As of today, We went around the state with Dr. John, and some of the committees, even in the states, are yet to even sit. And we are talking about combating nutrition at the subnational. It's until when we start to identify that this problem is directly our problem, and we are only being assisted either by the federal or by the developmental partners. That is when this fight against nutrition can actually be won. It is time to take ownership. We at the subnational need to take ownership. We see these women every day. We see these elders every day. We see these children in our backyards, along our streets. One of the challenges also is lack of nutrition-sensitive budget tagging. It makes it hard to track and evaluate the performance of these programs and interventions as provided for in the budget. Another challenge is limited access to real-time nutrition data. When we don't have sufficient or the right data, then you can be sure that decision-making will be faulty. Also, poor coordination among relevant MDAs. The core working nutrition MDAs seems to most times be disenfranchised. They are not working together. And low prioritization of nutrition, even in our legislative agenda. I want to believe that my colleagues, going back from this program, will become nutrition champions in our state and bring the issue of nutrition to the front burner. Permit me to appreciate two very, very important states in this fight, and that's Akwa Ibom State and Cross River State. Please, Chairman, I want to appreciate you. Please, thank you for taking this fight head on. And I think that is what all of us need to copy. And I'm sure with this concerted effort that the indices in a very short while will start to dwindle. Addressing these issues requires proactive and deliberate legislative approach. Without this fight is meaningless. Next slide, please. Tools for strengthening legislative oversight. To achieve improved nutrition outcomes, state legislatures must deploy the following oversight tools. 1, budget oversight. Ensure that nutrition components are visible, disaggregated, and funded within the budget of relevant MDAs. Demand performance-based reporting on nutrition-related allocations. Promote the use of nutrition budget scorecards during budget defense as a precursor for allocating a new budget. Another possible tool is committee hearings and interrogation. While we were in Akwa Ibom came with all the relevant MDAs. We interrogated them. I'm sure even the chairman, even if he was not aware before, found out new information about the performance of Akwa Ibom as it relates to nutrition during our advocacy visits. These are important tools to strengthen legislative oversight. Field oversight and monitoring. We need to conduct oversight visits to our primary health centers, to our schools, and nutrition centers at the local government level. We need to interact directly with implementing officers and beneficiaries of nutrition interventions. Then document findings and recommend policy amendments when we have first-hand information directly from the field. Support for institutional frameworks is also a possible tool by enabling or enacting state-level legislation to establish and fund state and LGA nutrition coordination platforms. I'm aware, from this program, the proposal for an harmonized bill of nutrition-related programs. I think in my discussion with Dr. Chike, we have your blessing to start work on that, sir. And so the states too should be ready to domesticate this bill, where we harness all relevant nutrition, like Darren discussed the other time, and put it under one bill. Domestication of this, then working towards the passage of these bills, even at your state and subnational level. It is only then that legislative oversight at the subnational is strengthened. Next slide. Permit me to share practical steps. Next slide. Next slide. Permit me to share practical steps we have taken in Ekiti State as a model for subnational legislative engagements and considerations. Apart from dedicating the House Committee on Nutrition and Food Security, must have created a lot of conflict amongst our committees at the state level, because it becomes duplication of responsibility. Usually, maybe a committee on health is existing, another committee on agriculture is existing. Having now a committee on nutrition and food security is a sort of conflict. But the approach in Ekiti is that we constituted the Committee on Nutrition and Food Security with the chairman of each of these relevant committees. The chairman of the Committee on Agriculture is a member of the Committee on Nutrition and Food Security Committee. The chairman of Agric is there. Health is there. The chairman of all these core-related committees forms the membership of the Nutrition and Food Security Committee, thereby reducing the possibility of friction and conflicts of interest. We've had 2 quarterly joint sessions with all nutrition-related MDAs to assess the implementation progress. I think Dr. John was in one of our sessions. Equally, Dr. Osita Okonko, the country director of NI. We are equally advocating for the deployment and funding of local nutrition focal persons in each of the local governments. And I can assure you that Ekiti State currently is reviewing the nutrition legal framework. We are having our state policy on food security, which is going to align with the national legislation as at when due or when passed. This demonstrates that with political will and structured engagement subnational legislatures can become true drivers of nutrition transformation. This is the next slide. Recommendations and strategic actions. Next slide. To consolidate gains and achieve sustainable impact, I respectfully recommend that we prioritize nutrition in state legislatures' agendas and strategic plans. 2, that we institutionalize nutrition scorecards for MDAs to be reviewed annually. 3, that we promote the use of real-time dashboards and GIS tools for tracking interventions. At the State of Assembly, we pride ourselves based on the award by the the presidency as the best House of Assembly on ICT integration. So we pride ourselves on the introduction of technology in legislative affairs. So 5, pass state-level nutrition laws, like I said, and engage our developmental partners the more. Before the creation of the National Legislative Network, most state committees don't even know what developmental partners are doing in the state level. And I will also want to plead with our developmental partners that the effectiveness of oversight at the National Assembly is drawn from the strength that this budget for these programs is scrutinized and passed by the Assembly. So the National Assembly knows the details and all the needful in that budget. So it is easy to oversight such. But at the subnational, we barely know or understand most of the programs that our developmental partners are even implementing in our states. So it means that as much as we need to improve on the relationship between developmental partners and the legislative arms of government at the national, it's also important to also domesticate this relationship at the state level. And next slide. Well, in conclusion, nutrition is not a charity agenda. It's a national development imperative. As lawmakers, we have both the authority and the moral responsibility to protect and promote the welfare of our citizens. Strengthening legislative oversight is not merely a procedural activity, it is an essential mechanism to deliver hope, health, and dignity to every child, woman, and vulnerable household in our constituencies. Let us commit ourselves to this cause with renewed energy, clarity of purpose, and legislative precision. Thank you for your kind attention.